Hello, Jamie from Inky and Scrappy, sharing with you today the Fab Five, hopping along and growing our love of Lawn Fawn, old and new hop and giveaway. So to start, I'm bringing in some of those images from the garden before and afters, the Berry Special stamp set, the Some Bunny stamp set, and of course, the Veggie Happy stamp set. I'm also going to bring in the platform pop-up and the add-on backdrop for the platform pop-up, as well as the cloudy insert for the platform pop-up. So for this one, I did create a new color swatch chart with my Ohuhu bullet and brush markers. So I have both the Honolulu set and the Oahu set. When building my color palette, I do try to add in options if you only have one set over the other. And so the options that aren't exact matches, but they should be a close enough match to get a fairly good blend, please double check and make sure that the blend is good for you, will be in bracketed text behind my number. All of my color charts are on my blog at InkyandScrappy.com. There is a page button on the side that has Ohuhu marker blends. Everything you need should be fine there. I do have a conversion chart on Etsy as well if that's something that you're interested in. So there is the color chart. If you would like to skip the platform building, go ahead to the 4-minute mark and I will wait until then to explain all of the details of the hop. So for this one, I had all of my double-sided adhesive already on all of my pieces. I, tried really hard to make this as short and hopefully not as sped up as possible, but it did end up having to get sped up fairly immensely. So for this one, I tried a new to me method, which adding that background on before I built it. If I would do it again, I definitely would add it, but probably right after I was done with this part. I was a little high on it, which was fine. It didn't really matter, but I think it would have been easier for me to line it up and make it, I guess, straight all the way across. I don't think it was too off crooked wise, but it was definitely harder for me to get it to line up on the back without the front piece. I don't know if that makes sense. So I always build my platform pop-ups without the middle T. I usually cut just a piece of cardstock long enough for that piece there, either all the way along that center part or, some variation of it. I also decided to bring in some Avery L Simple Sentiment strips for my actual tops of my tees for this one. I didn't need the grass and the other stuff for this one, and I just kind of wanted that simplicity of a simple straight line. And so those offered a good enough array of widths to accommodate what I was looking for my strips. Now I'm also bringing in Lawn Fawn's Spiffier Speckles paper, and the thickness on the non-metallic, the non-spiffier ones, like just the plain ones, was a lighter weight than I would have liked, and so I did bring in regular cardstock to go behind to just kind of help give it a little bit more stability for all of my images to sit on. So I like to add my bottom part together before I do the sides. It's almost foolproof when it comes to making sure that that top platform stays flat and does not get any bows in it. We did it for an in-person class. All of them were newbies. All of them turned out amazingly well. So thank you, Kate, for that hot tip. So as I start to build here, let's get into all the details of the hop. Stay tuned because I have a special giveaway for one commenter that comments on my video. So that information will be in a little bit later in the video. So for this one, this hop is generously sponsored by none other than Lawn Fawn. Each of us participating in this hop will be sharing creative ideas using old and new Lawn Fawn products. We hope that you find inspiration with each video as you hop along with us. To enter, please leave a comment by April 27th, 2024 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Not sure what to say? A simple hi will do. And a winner will be announced on April 29th, 2024 over on the Fab 5 Paper Crafters Facebook page and Instagram accounts. The links will be down below if you are not yet following us over there. Failure to claim your prize within 1 week will result in a new winner being picked. So please claim your prize because you don't want to miss out. So the lineup will also be listed down below. I am the first stop in this hop. So if you started here, you're in order. If you didn't start here but you got here, make sure to check out that lineup below to make sure you hit all of the stops, as we have Maker Moose and the craftacular creator Vicki in the house as well with us today. So make sure to check all those out. So of course we have the disclaimer, this giveaway is sponsored by Lawn Fawn and is not sponsored by YouTube. Of course my giveaway is sponsored by me and nobody but me. So there we go. All right, so for this one I continued on with my building of the scene and kind of just, figuring out where I wanted things, where things were going to work. I wanted to be able to see all of my little critters without covering up a whole lot and working from there. So, as I was building, kind of tucking things in here and there, making sure that my scene was full. The joy of using liquid adhesive is if you're quick enough, you can pull it off and, tuck it somewhere else. It also allowed me to kind of play with my placement from time to time. Granted, it might leave a little, I don't know, I guess a matte kind of look behind, but for the most part, my scene was really full, so it didn't really matter. I also did kind of come in with either the X-Acto knife to cut holes in certain things that I wanted the little mouse to be holding onto a little bit better, and or cut around, their little garden tools so it didn't take away from the image that was behind them, because a lot of times when I layer images, you get that white line outline. It's kind of, it works, but And then of course my tip to Richard Scarry's books, The Little Worm. He had to come out. I mean, that totally reminds me of all the things, right? Yeah. Okay. So I also did do the little side pieces here, kind of finishing up just some little ones. Oh, look, it's time for Jamie's giveaway. So one lucky commenter will win one of these two. So the prize is the stitched gourd or the rainy backdrop. So if you have one and not the other. So for the stitched gourd, I need you to say shine in your comment. And for the rainy backdrop, just say rain. That way I know which one you want. So I will pick one winner. I will post the winner on my Instagram account at Inky&Scrappy on Instagram. I will also list it in my community tab below. Anyways, back to the action. So I am continuing to build, just kind of keeping it fairly simple on the little side pieces here, just accenting the rest of the scene. And then of course I needed to stamp all of my little signs. So I colored and cut out a whole bunch of signs. Why? Because this way I have them for future use. It's a fairly simple, it's a simple sign, and once I was coloring, I figured I might as well just color a whole bunch, because then I can just tuck them in with my stamp set, and when I go to pull them out, I can just tuck them in here and there. I also had no clue how many I was planning on using for this one, so I had plenty of extras. Now, for this one, I was trying to tuck it in behind, and I ended up just cutting it off. I thought I gave myself a little bit of wiggle room on that one, and I did not. So I struggled with it a little bit to get it back there, but ultimately I got there. It just, didn't go as smooth as I had hoped. Yeah, it happens. So this is where I say it works. It works well when you're using glue adhesive and it doesn't work. So I had glued it on the back side of the sign and kind of put it on the front. Well, I didn't like it where I had put it. So I decided to put glue on the front. I just kind of patted the back, made sure it was dry and not sticky anymore, and then I could put it in my little, behind my wheelbarrow there, and not worry about it sticking where it wasn't supposed to stick later on. So for this one, I'm bringing in some Trinity stamps. I think they're blueberry jelly hearts or blue jelly hearts. They're the jelly hearts. I'm taking the tiniest, littlest ones, the ones that had a little bit of a cloudy look to them, and using them as little like water drops, but of course they're hearts, so I just thought it was fun. I brought in a piece of acetate here, and then I'm just going to kind of cut it so they are on there, but they're not, it kind of gives the illusion of water moving or whatever. Granted, my sign was here, so I probably, by the time, I didn't pay that close of attention to it, right? Because it was it didn't, I added the glue and then it made it wiggle a little bit more. So by the time it was done, it had kind of fallen a little bit, and it kind of, I probably could have put the drops on the side, to be honest, and it would have worked as well. But it's on the acetate. It's kind of, free-flowing water. Yeah, we'll go with that one. So to finish this one up, I needed a sentiment, but I really didn't want to take away from my scene with a sentiment strip on the back. So instead, and of course I didn't think of it beforehand. So I brought in the little clouds from the Cloudy add-on for the platform pop-up, and I stamped my sentiment strategically on the clouds, so it says, "I totally dig you." And then, of course, adding a couple more of those little teeny tiny clouds to just finish filling in the scene there. So this way it just kind of brings in the sentiment to the scene. Of course, that one sign says, "Can you dig it?" And so that was kind of why I picked the sentiment that I picked. So once I have this all complete, I'm going to do my background piece. So I like to add this onto the background after the fact, like, when I finally decide to send it. So I cut out the inside, or the stitched rectangle die. It's from the largest stack. It's the second smallest. It fits perfectly on that back piece when you have the backdrop piece on the platform pop-up. But this way I used the rest of my little images that I had left here, and I just kind of added them onto the back, finished my sentiment onto the back, and then I just add that double-sided score style tape onto it. I will not actually adhere it to the back until I am ready to send it. This way I can write my little message on that little card, and then I can adhere it to the back. So it's not, because it's bumpy by the time you're all done with all your images. So here is that finished platform pop-up. Pops up and shows the full garden scene. Keep in mind, this one would go great on a slimline card, on a box style card, all of the things, like, multiple layers of hills in the background. You could definitely incorporate any of the platform pop-up cards into a flat A2 style card. So I hope you have an amazing day. Remember to comment below for both prizes, and I will be back soon, hopefully with another video, but make sure to go and visit Jessica next. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye!